everybody, welcome to another Pick a Group reading. This is the May Queen, and today we are going to be asking Spirit, what haven't you acknowledged? We're coming up to the time of the autumnal equinox, where I live in the northern hemisphere, in and around September 20th, and it's Mabon. It's a time of shadows. It's a time of merging your light and your dark side in order to become whole. And in order to do that, we have to let go of things that no longer are serving us. It's a time to turn inward and restore. So we are asking Spirit today, what haven't you acknowledged? And I have 3 groups here. The first group is this beautiful Apatite crystal. I really like this one because I can fit it right into my palm. There's these grooves here and it just kind of fits nicely like this, and I like to just sit with it sometimes and hold it. It feels very good and reassuring. So that's group 1. Group 2, we have the Carnelian. This is also just a really smooth small palm stone. Sometimes I carry this in my purse or put it in my pocket and have it with me for the day. And I love how different light can shine through it, and it looks smoky sometimes, it looks clear sometimes. It's really beautiful. That's one of my favorites. And then we have the green calcite. This is another large one that I like to sit with sometimes, and it fits in my palm really nicely as well. I like to grip it. It's smooth, well, it's not smooth, but even the rough edges feel smooth, and it's very shiny. It's got this line running through it that makes it really interesting to look at, and the darker green and the lighter green there. So those are our 3 groups today. Take a minute to pause. If you need to, pause the video, choose your group. I'm hoping for clear, concise messages for all of you for your greater good. Again, we're asking Spirit, what haven't you acknowledged? All right, if you chose the blue Apatite stone, this is your reading. Group 1. I'm going to be starting with a dark mirror card. Some of these images can be a little bit intense, a little bit triggering sometimes, but they can also get right to the heart of the issue. There we go. That one just fell out. Revenge. So, of course, we're going to be pulling some tarot, but I feel like right off the bat, I'm going to hold that up closer for you to see. Hopefully you can see that. Right off the bat, we're asking Spirit, what haven't you acknowledged? And I'm thinking that for you, group 1, you have some mental scars that might be useful for you to try and clear out. And I'm not making light of this. This is really hard, heavy work. Revenge, thoughts of jealousy, thoughts of injustices done to you are like stones around your neck, and they weigh you down. They make it hard for you to move on and out of that energy. And those kinds of things can just affect everything that you do. And then before you know it, you've settled into this energy, and these things have become almost like your friends, right? You have created a story about yourself. You've created a persona that has these things attached to them. And it's hard to break out of that. It's very, very hard to break out of that. So let's pull some tarot and see what Spirit is saying that you might be able to start doing to acknowledge these thoughts and to start to move through them. It's a heavy time. This is card number 23, which reduces to 5, which talks about change. And so I feel like Spirit is very clearly saying to you, it's time to start making a change. It's time to start coming out of this energy. And it's not going to be easy, but by the fact that you're here and you've received this message, you're watching this video, and Spirit is starting with this card, indicates that the time is now for you. So let's pull some tarot. Let's see what else is going on. Okay. Group 1. Can we get some tarot and some further understanding on this revenge card, on this dark mirror? You know, I feel like a lot of, whoa, there we go. Spirit is chatty. I was going to say, sometimes the hardest part is just acknowledging that those feelings exist, and it can feel very scary to start to work through them and to let them go, right? Because if you've held on to this for a while, it's become a part of your identity. It's become a part of your persona, and to let that go can sometimes make you feel unhinged, not grounded, because you're going to have to figure out who you are all over again. And like I said earlier, that can be very challenging. So let's unpack these cards and see what came out. 4 of Pentacles and 9 of Pentacles. So, and I'm going to pull some more, but I just want to say off the bat, the 4 of Pentacles just confirms what we were talking about with this card. Because 4 of Pentacles is a card, the energy is just holding on to things, right? I mean, you can see that she's holding on to her purse. Her purse contains all of her essence, the things that are most important to her in the world. And for you, Group 1, I feel like that's this persona that you have created. You are fiercely holding on to this because it's your identity. Spirit is indicating that it might be time to start unpacking this purse, slowly going through this process of maybe letting some of that go. Because in essence, I mean, if you look at the image of this 4 of Pentacles, she is outside of the safety of her community. She's outside of the fence. She's outside of the city. And she looks quite serene, but she's literally holding on to all her baggage. And that makes her an outsider. And that can be really, really tough. At first, I feel like it's a protective measure, especially for you, Group 1, that this was created as a defense mechanism for you to protect yourself from further harm. But now it's just become like this battle armor, and you're fiercely holding on to it. And as you walk through the phases of your life, it's just going to get heavier and heavier and heavier. So like I said earlier, Spirit is indicating that it might be time to start to let a little bit of this go. And I'm really excited to see the 9 of Pentacles as the second card coming out here, because Spirit again is offering you hope. Spirit is indicating that you have all of the resources that you need to embark on this journey and to be successful in this journey. And that's really wonderful. That's a really great positive card. You have the white bird of hope here. She's dressed all in white. It's very positive. The outlook is very, very positive. Let's pull some more cards to see if we can get some more information. We have some more information on this scenario for Group 1, please, Spirit. Group 1, what else do they need to know? So I feel like maybe you're at the very beginning of acknowledging this whole process in you. And that can be tough. All right. So we have the 8 of Cups. Yeah. It's definitely time to let this go. We are continually in the process of our life trying to walk towards that sunrise, right? In whatever situation that we're in, we do it over and over again. We complete a cycle and it's time to start looking at something else. And so again, the imagery in this card is just perfect for what we've been talking about, because she's leaving her cup behind in this pool of water, which, you know, can represent all of your emotions that are tied in to this whole thing. She's turned her back. Again, she's dressed in white, super hopeful. And I don't know if you can see, but her shoulders are back. She's standing tall and square, and she's walking confidently towards that sunrise. She's coming out of this shadow realm here, this watery, murky, marshy, emotional phase, and she's walking towards that sunrise. Really, really positive cards right off the bat for you, Group 1. So I hope you do take some solace in that, some hope in that, that Spirit is indicating that you have the strength, you have the ability, you are going to be able to embark on this journey and be successful in this endeavor. Let's pull a few more cards before we get into some oracle cards. I just feel like maybe if you sit quietly with yourself for a minute, you can see the truth in the situation, that you have become isolated, you have become lonely. This baggage is getting very heavy. Look at this, Group 1. Oh, this is just fantastic. Look at all these positive cards coming out for you after this really, really heavy dark mirror card that we started with. And this was the intention, honestly, with this reading is, yeah, it might be kind of a big wake-up call at the beginning with that dark mirror. It can be a triggering deck, but Spirit is indicating that this situation is actually very, very hopeful. Yeah, just more and more positive cards. I think we're going to end with that one there, but let's talk about these ones. I can move that deck over there. So we have the Four of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, and Justice. Wow, what a great way to finish with the tarot, with a major arcana like Justice, balancing of the scales. And I love, love, love the image of Justice in this deck, which is the Light Seers deck. I don't know if you can see that. Am I holding it up okay? So, and this is exactly what we said at the beginning. We're asking Spirit, what haven't you acknowledged? We're coming up on Mabon, which is a time of balancing your light and your shadow, right? And look at this image. This is perfect. She has her eyes closed here because she's turning inward. She has the Sword of Justice, is completely level. It's completely balanced. Her cups are balanced. One is not spilling over. One is not empty. They're completely balanced. Her emotions are balanced. Her thoughts are balanced. She has turned inward to awaken her shadow side. See how her eyes are open in the shadow side? And it's completely balanced. And Justice being the 11 card, again, the number 11 to me just looks balanced, right? Two ones right beside each other look balanced. So I know I read the last card first, but I just was so drawn to that for you, Group 1. It's really incredible. And I'm kind of getting chills. This is wonderful. We also have the Four of Wands, which again, you've got 11 here with 11. So there's quite a bit of synchronicity here. We've got 2 8s, 2 9s, and 2 4s. That's incredible. That I'm starting to get really like charged. I can feel the energy coming up through my feet into me. I do readings standing up because I find that the energy from Spirit, I'm much more of a conduit if I'm standing with my bare feet on the ground. And I definitely can feel this energy just coming up and through my body. And I feel very, very strong right now. I feel like I'm ready to do this. But let's talk about the cards here. So the Four of Wands just talks about you've reached a certain level where you have a balance of energy. It's an exciting time. You've gotten what you want in the situation. It's a time for celebration. And that's very, very good when we're talking about all of this. The Eight of Pentacles is indicating, yeah, I mean, this is, you are going to have to work hard at this. It's not going to be a one and done kind of thing. It's not going to be you, by you just acknowledging him, it doesn't mean it's going to be over. There is going to be a significant amount of work in this, but there's so much energy around you. You know, this card is surrounded by wands, which is just pure energy from source, from spirit. Nine of Wands after that says, it just confirms what I was saying, that this is going to be a lot of work. And sorry, I'm called back to just the phases of the moon here, also indicating the potential length of time that this is going to take. Not that it's just going to take a lunar cycle, but that it is going to take time. And the Nine of Wands very clearly says that you can do it. It's going to be difficult. There are going to be challenges. You are going to probably mentally and emotionally feel like a warrior, kind of beat up probably along the way, but she still is confidently holding this wand, and the spark is still there, the flame is still there. And I love the expression on her face in this deck. She's like, yeah, I'm doing it. I got this. I got this. And then we already talked about justice. So really, really beautiful reading, Group 1. I'm very, very hopeful. Let's pull some oracle cards. Who do we want to say? Let's do some spirit animals and see who maybe is walking with you at the start of this journey. I feel like you are at the beginning of this with the Four of Pentacles here, because you're still holding your baggage. And so it's a time of you acknowledging it and starting on this journey. So let's get an animal spirit card and see who maybe is going to start walking down this path with you. Whose energy can you call on at this time? Whose energy can Group 1 call on at this time as they start this journey? Who's there for them? Who's there for them, Group 1? Cards are jumping. Cards are jumping. So we're finding, Spirit is finding a very specific energy. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You guys got the elk. And again, I want to just call your attention to the synchronicity of these images here and here. They're almost virtually the same color, which is incredible. And the imagery of these to me are like wands, right? They're on fire, just like here. You and the elk, I mean, the elk is, for me, the elk is divine masculine energy, which I think is going to be very, very useful for you as you start this journey. Doesn't matter if you identify as male or if you identify as female. Oh my gosh, my cat just knocked over a whole deck. Or if you're non-binary, you can draw on these different energies within the universe. And so the elk is divine masculine energy. The elk is the emperor, in my opinion. And the elk is a card of immense power and stamina. It's a earth animal. So again, it's you feeling grounded. It's you feeling safe to start this journey, and you having the stamina to see this through, and you, the passion staying with you. I don't know if you can see, but I'm getting chills. This is really, really awesome, Group 1. Let's see, who else do we want to call on? Let's get some Mystic Sisters. I like this deck. We had divine masculine energy, so we can get some divine feminine energy with this deck. And Mystic Sisters. Okay, one more. Who else is here to help Group 1 right now as they start this journey? Yes. Oh my gosh, Group 1. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. You got Bridget out of this deck of Mystic Sisters. Look at her. She is passion and fire incarnate. Just take a second. Hopefully you can see that card. I love this card. Divine masculine, divine feminine, without question. This spark is there. She is holding that flame. You have this power. You have this power. She is with you to walk with you. The elk is with you to walk beside you. You have the strength. You have the stamina. The outcome is going to be balance for you. Bridget is a fierce, feminine energy. She is very powerful, that fiery energy she can use to, I'm hesitating here because I was waiting for a clearer message, and I think that I just got it. I think Bridget is here to tell you that it's time to burn this thing to the ground. And that's a very forceful image. Oh my God, I just saw this too. This was the original Dark Mirror card that we pulled for you. Do you guys see these antlers? I mean, I know that they're branches or they're strikes of lightning, but again, look at that image. Look at the elk, that image right here of branches, of wands, and then look at Bridget over top. Again, same energy emanating from her. And so I really feel like Bridget is here to tell you it's time to burn this MFer to the ground and start over. You have this power. It's time to let this go. It's time to reinvent yourself, to start on that journey. Like I said earlier, I have so much energy coursing through me. I've got goosebumps everywhere. It's really, really powerful, and I'm very, very excited for you. So let's get one more oracle card. We're going to go to Sacred Rebels, because really, honestly, Bridget is a sacred rebel. Divine feminine, divine masculine. Really, really powerful reading. We'll do one more shuffle. All right, let's get some advice for group one as they're starting this journey. This is really, really profound, group one. Okay, let's get some advice, specific advice for group one. There we go. Yeah, I'm not surprised actually that this card came out. She feels, she knows, and it's the number 22, which is another master number. You got 11 here, you got 1111. There's just so much synchronicity in this reading. It's really, really powerful. But let's take a final moment to concentrate on this card. She feels, she knows. This woman has been through it. Can you see her face? Swollen lips, black eye. There's a lot of emotional scars. There might be some physical scars for some of you out there, but definitely emotional scars. And she's surrounded with this peacock feather right here. To me, peacocks are acknowledging your singular beauty. That's what I'm getting with the peacock there and this card. She feels, she knows. It's time for you, group one, to start to discover your singular beauty in this world. And spirit is, all of us have our own singular beauty, and that's the goal really of life, is to discover it, right? And once you discover it, nobody can ever take it away from you. That is within you. You have that power within you. You have that spark, that flame. You have that strength. You have that stamina. And so again, this is just, it's just confirming everything that we talked about. There's not a lot of cards on the table, group one, but the cards that are out here are so incredibly powerful for you. So take the time to start on this journey. You're not going to be disappointed. Spirit is indicating that everything is going to lead to balance. Look at the four corners in Bridget's card too. These four corners all have four corners in on themselves, into infinity. It's all going to come together. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard, group one, to start on this and to get through it. But starting is the most powerful and significant form of energy, and you have this energy available to you right now, and it is time. It's time to acknowledge this. Spirit is saying it's time to acknowledge this. So that's what I have for you at this time of Mabon Group 1. Good luck and take care of yourself. I'm rooting for you. Hi, Group 2. If you chose this calcite, then this is your reading. I'm going to start with the Dark Mirror card. Dark Mirror card images can be a little bit intense sometimes, and the messages behind them can also sometimes be triggering. But this is good. It's kind of like a wake up or a shake up. So we're going to start with the Dark Mirror for the overall energy of what you're not acknowledging for this season of Mabon. Group 2. What is Group 2 not acknowledging? What does Group 2 need to acknowledge? We'll start with the Dark Mirror and then get some tarot. What does Group 2 need to acknowledge for this season of Mabon? What does Group 2 need to acknowledge? Okay. 2 are coming out. Yeah, so these can kind of be intense images. We have the number 11, addicted. It's going to set these right here. And then this kind of as maybe a clarifier or just some additional information. Number 19, parasite, came out. So right off the bat, what I'm seeing is that these are the same phases of the moon are associated with both of these cards. You know, the main one that came out was addicted. Sorry, I have just terrible allergies right now. Where I live, seems like we have allergies year round. So I apologize if I'm kind of clearing my throat. You can see that the image in this card, this person with their head hanging down and they're chained to something that's off of the card. They've got swords piercing through them from the front into the back. And it looks like they're almost withering away. The hand is very, you know, like a skeleton hand. And I feel like whatever this, and this doesn't necessarily mean that you have an actual addiction, right? Of course, for some of you, it could be something that you might want to start looking at. But it's like this person is just being eaten away by what they feel chained to. And it's fitting that parasite kind of jumped out in addition to addiction, because if you look at how these cards go together, I mean, the chain could be that you're chained to this parasite that is literally, well, not literally, that is figuratively eating away at you, right? You know, your skin and bones, the bones are starting to show through here. And so I feel like we're asking Spirit, what is it that Group 2 needs to acknowledge? I feel like I want to take the Carnelian out from hiding, since we got 2 cards, and kind of put it in the center there for clarity and for balance. What is it that you are chained to? What do you feel chained to that maybe is starting to eat away at you? We definitely need to get some tarot to clarify this, but this is potentially some heavy energy of things that Spirit is indicating that you might want to start having a look at. So let's get some tarot here. See if we can ask Spirit for some further clarity on this. What is it that Group 2 is not acknowledging in reference to this addicted card. Let's get some clarity. Oh, these cards do not want to shuffle. Try it that way. A little better. I kind of have small hands. I have short, stubby fingers, and sometimes it makes shuffling difficult, but that feels good. All right, let's ask Spirit, what is it that Group 2 needs to start acknowledging with these two cards here, Addicted and Parasite? Okay, we have the World in reverse. What else? Can we get some more cards here? The Empress. Spirit, do I want all these cards? Yes, I do. 10 of Cups reversed. King of Wands reversed and 3 of Cups reversed. Spirit, can we get one more card here? And then we'll start to tell the story that's unfolding for group number 2 for this season of Mabon and the Devil. Yeah, I'm not surprised that the Devil came out. Obviously, that's a very clear indication. I don't often do bottom deck energies, but for whatever reason, Spirit was calling me towards that. I'm hoping all of that kind of fits in the frame we've got here. So let's start to unpack this, okay? Group number 2, there's a lot of energy surrounding this, and I'm going to be honest with you, I also feel like I'm kind of weighed down right now. I feel really kind of heavy in my solar plexus chakra, and I'm wondering if that might be a source of blockage for you. But let's read the cards and see what we've got here. I mean, you definitely do have a block. The World reversed can talk about, you know, not being able to go on to the next phase of your life. You're unable to end your current cycle. And I really feel that it's because you are chained to this, whatever is this parasitic force in your world right now, in your karmic cycle, is really just kind of holding you back, and you are chained to it. And with Spirit's help, we can figure out how to set you free, how to unchain you from this. We have the Devil here as the last card in this spread, which really is the same kind of energy as this addicted. The Devil can have a lot of different meanings, but in this spread, clearly it's talking about this situation for you. So Spirit is indicating that you definitely are unable to end the current cycle that you're in, and because you can't end it, there's no progression. There's no progression into this Empress energy. Empress energy is the all kinds of energy surrounding creation and birth, divine feminine energy, creativity, all of those kinds of things. Cycles of the moon, again, talk about cycles that you are blocked from ending right now. And the energy that I'm feeling is really kind of strange. I'm simultaneously wanting to rush forward with all of my words, but I'm also feeling, like I said, really heavy in my solar plexus chakra, kind of in like my, not the top of my gut. I don't know if you know where your solar plexus chakra is located. You can look that up on YouTube, but I'm definitely feeling a blockage there. And it makes sense that you have the 10 of Cups reversed, because the 10 of Cups is like absolute emotional fulfillment. You're getting everything you want emotionally in your life, in your current cycle. And it's reversed, meaning that until you end this cycle, until you can end this cycle and start anew, creating what it is that you want out of your life and out of this next phase, this next journey, you're not going to get emotional fulfillment. That's very clear to me. Until you can unchain yourself, untether yourself from this parasitic force that is eating away at you, it's it's heavy around your neck. It's piercing your guts. It's intense, group 2. I'm not going to lie. You've got the King of Wands reversed here as well, and the Three of Cups reversed here with the Devil on the end. And this to me is just the same iteration as what I talked about up here. You are unable to realize your full potential. King of Wands reversed. King of Wands is a master of passion, a master of creativity. He is solid and stable and can access this wand of power, this wand of creativity, this wand of passion anytime he wants to. You are unable to get to this energy because you are stuck in this cycle. And so because of that, you aren't able to have your happiness. You're unable to have your celebration. And I'm also wondering if you may be kind of isolated from your tribe, meaning like your tribe, meaning like, you know, your friends or your family, wherever it is that you feel you are at home, whether that's with a partner, whether that's with your group of friends, your soulmates, your family, that you're just feeling isolated from that and you're unable to take advantage of the joy that feeling part of a group brings. And so, you know, that's what the Devil here, and the Devil here in this deck is a really wonderful image. This is the Light Seers deck, which I absolutely love. But he's so seductive, group number 2. Look at him. That is a beautiful man. I think so. And he's holding out his hand and he's saying, it's going to be okay. Just come and hang out with me. It'll just be you and me. It'll just be you and me. But notice this shadow image down in the corner. This is you, group number 2. It's seductive to follow this, right? It's seductive to get into this energy, but you become a shadow of yourself. He is a puppet master and he will seduce you into this. And it's the same as this image up here, the shadow self. And this clearly is a shadow self, right? And also notice that the Parasite is, of these 2 cards, is the only one that has color. I don't know if I brought this one up as well. But this is the only card of these 2 that has color, which means that the Parasite is sucking all of your life out of you, and you are left with this shadow self, with this shadow of yourself. This is really heavy. Don't despair. Bottom deck energy, like I said, I normally don't look at bottom deck energy unless I'm called to it, and Spirit was like, you know what, why don't you peek at the bottom of the deck? Knight of Pentacles. This card is going to hopefully reassure you that you have the resources within yourself to plant the seeds of what it is that you want to get out of life. And he's doing it in a very slow, solid, methodical way. And he has the power of this horse behind him. Horses are filled with immense energy, and the horse is following him, which means he has access to that energy. He has access to that power. And he is very deliberately, with intention, laying his path towards his bliss. Okay? And the card underneath that is the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords, all aces talk about potential energy and potential energy that you can access. Sometimes it can be fleeting, and so you have to pay attention to it when it shows up, and it's showing up, okay? Ace of Swords is a sudden flash of inspiration, flash of thought. And what this is indicating to me is that because you have found this reading and you are doing the work towards naming what is going on with your situation right now, right? We ask Spirit, what aren't you acknowledging? You're starting to realize that You are chained to this parasitic energy. And the Ace of Swords indicates to me that this parasitic energy is thought patterns. That's what I'm getting with this. So it could be self-doubt. It could be negative self-talk. This is a journey that I have also gone through, this whole mental gymnastics. What do we say to ourselves in our mind when we're alone, right? It can lead you to some very dark places, and it's really, really challenging. It can be to change those thought patterns because they're your own, and you have to catch them when they happen, and you have to start to train yourself out of them. But the Ace of Swords is telling me that you have access to this power, this flash of inspiration, this flash of brilliance to start on this journey down into the center of your mind to stop this parasitic, stop these parasitic thought patterns. The wheel is underneath that, and that's in the upright, which is great news because, again, the wheel is going to talk about cycles that you're going through, and this time you come out on top. And so the fact that this is right there indicates to me that you starting on this journey, you acknowledging those parasitic thought patterns that exist within you, that are eating away at you, that are forcing you to become a shadow of your former self. You can come out of this, group 2. You absolutely can come out of this. And it all starts with how you change your thoughts. Changing your thoughts is the key for you to come out of this cycle that you're in. And this is what Spirit is wanting you to acknowledge. This is what Spirit is telling you, that it's time to stop this cycle. It's time to clear away those blocks. Okay, so let's get some oracle cards. Let's get some spirit animals and see what energy is with you. Who is walking alongside group 2 as they start this journey? I feel like maybe you've kind of already started this journey, but maybe you've kind of stalled out a bit, which could indicate why the World card was reversed, and that, you know, you do need a sudden flash of inspiration to kind of get you towards the end of it and out of this cycle. So let's see who is walking with you on this journey. Who's here to help group 2 change their parasitic thought patterns? It's really hard to do, group 2. Who's there with group 2 right now? Whose energy can group 2 call on right now? Yeah. All right, this is good. I'm not going to take all of these cards because this is a lot of cards, but this is how it came out, right? I don't know if you can kind of see that, but and so I feel like I want to take these 2 top cards. So we've got Bat and Stingray are the ones that came out. Well, I know I said I wasn't going to take all of these cards, but this is actually pretty cool, and I think I am going to go ahead and take these cards. So first of all, I want to say it's pretty awesome, group 2, that you have all of these animals that just kind of flew out to be like, it's okay, group 2, we're here with you. You can use our energy to help you get through this process. The first card that came out, and also all of them, I want to point out that okay, sorry. There's a lot that is coming through me right now, and I'm trying to filter it, trying to slow it down a little bit. I don't want to miss anything, but it's also just kind of jumbling out. I think I said that at the beginning, didn't I? That I felt real heavy, but I also feel like I'm wanting to talk really fast. These cards here are all air cards, right? Bat, Dragonfly, Moth, and Crow. These 2 aren't classified in this deck as air cards. We've got Stingray, which is water element, and Phoenix, which is a spirit card. It's how she classifies these things in this deck. But what I'm called to see, and I hope you see it too, is that all of these creatures have the ability to fly, Okay. I saw this immediately. So stingray obviously stingrays live in the ocean, right? But they glide through the ocean. I don't know that I've seen stingrays, lucky enough to see them in the ocean, and they don't. I don't think that obviously they swim. See, I'm stumbling over my words again. But when you watch them swim, it looks like they're flying, right? I mean, even the shape is the same as the moth and the stingray. So they fly through the water. Phoenix obviously is a mythological bird, so yes, they fly. So that's the first thing I see, is that all of these creatures to me are air creatures, and air creatures talk about our thought patterns. So this is further confirmation that what you're dealing with is changing your thought patterns, changing that negative self-talk, getting that inspiration to embark on this journey. And these animals, absolutely, if you needed any further confirmation that this is what your quest is, here we go. Bat is a card of transformation. Bats hang upside down when they sleep in the wild, which means that for you, coming out in your spirit card, it's a change of perspective. Bat is calling you to change your perspective, change your way of thinking about things, go inward and access. You can see that this is kind of the moon, a moon image right here, right? Access that intuitive side to start to transform your mental world. Stingray to me talks about, I mean, it can sometimes talk about standing up for yourself, having a spine, growing a backbone, all of those kinds of things. But what I'm immediately called to is that this looks like a chakra chain to me. And at the very beginning of this reading, I felt like this heaviness in my solar plexus chakra, which incidentally has started to lift the more that the more cards that we've pulled and the deeper that we've gone into this. And so I really think that a practical thing for you to do, if you feel called to it, is to search on YouTube. YouTube is a wonderful reference, but search the information about chakras. It doesn't have to necessarily be solar plexus chakra, just because that's what I experienced. I would say trust your intuition to what you're called to listen to. And they have also things that you can listen to while you sleep that can help you clear blockages in a particular chakra to help you move forward in your journey. But that is what I'm getting from Stingray. Crow is, I don't know if you know that this is my little card holder here is also a crow. I got this on a trip a long time ago, and I just love him. But crows are magic incarnate to me. That's what their meaning is. And so, the crow is sitting on this egg. It kind of looks like an egg to me. But again, there are all these colors of the chakras, right? And so crow is the master of a clean chakra line. That's what I'm getting this time with crow. Sometimes crow's messages are a little bit different. But crow is like the magician in the tarot, right? Crow is telling you that you have all the tools you need to do what it is that you need to do. So you have all the tools that you need to unblock your chakras and start to change your thought patterns, your mental habits, to unchain you from that parasitic energy. Phoenix is talking about, absolutely, you're going to burn your old self down to the ground, or you're going to burn that parasitic energy down to the ground. It's funny, group 1 had kind of a similar message, only in that it talked about burning things down to the ground too. But different things to acknowledge. But Phoenix is, you are going to rise from the ashes. You're going to be okay, which is this wheel underneath here, right? You will start a new cycle, and you will be successful in this endeavor if you listen to what Spirit is telling you. Dragonfly and moth, I think, are just here to further reinforce that this is a process of transformation for you, absolutely. And the imagery is just so beautiful. These bookends here, you know, have the wings are open and they go up, and then these have very similar images here with the stingray as well, and the crow sitting right there in the center to just be like, hey buddy, I got you, we can do this, and it's gonna be okay. So that's what I have. That's pretty cool. You got a lot of animal spirits with you, a lot of animal energy with you to help you along the way. And these images really are so beautiful. So let's get some more. What other decks do we want to use? Let's see. Let's do the Sacred Rebels and see what kind of advice we can get. Can we get advice for group 2? What can group 2 focus on to start to help them change that negative self-talk, to unchain themselves from that parasitic energy, that mental energy that they need to shift? Let's see if we can get some advice. Can we get some advice for group 2, please, on this reading? Are there things that group 2 can focus on to help them in their journey? Again, small hands. Small hands are death for a tarot card reader. All right. So let's see. We've got listening for the truth. And that's beautiful. Legacy of light. Well, okay. I want to take all of these again. I think I said at the beginning that Spirit felt chatty. That's not a bad thing at all. Listening for truth, card number 36. Collaborative dreaming, card number 28. And legacy of light, card number 7. These are beautiful, beautiful energies that you have around you right now, group number 2, to help you in this journey. First of all, listening for truth, if you can see that. So I love the images in these cards because they often depict the main person on the card naked, and I think that that's significant because to me it signifies that you're stripped of all of your 3D, what is the word that I'm searching for? Like the images that you present out into the world, right? We all have a persona that we use to interact with the rest of the world. But the fact that she's naked just kind of says to me, you need to strip away for that, and you need to listen to what is your own inner truth, okay? And you're changing the way you're thinking, which can be very difficult, but you have the cosmos over here, and that's what you're starting to access. You're starting to access this inner truth. You're starting to access your your legacy, and you're growing through this cycle. This card here is the 3 images in the life of the divine feminine, right? You've got the child, the mother, and the crone. And the crone is the phase where you receive the most enlightenment, and that if you've processed each phase, each journey, if you've processed it with truth and integrity and honesty, you can advance to the next one up, and that's where you receive the most spiritual downloads about your existence, about the universe. And that's what I think that this exercise for you in unchaining yourself from this negative way of thinking about yourself is really probably going to lead to some profound insights for you. And that's very exciting. Collaborative dreaming in the center there can be another indication that maybe you want to explore the whole phenomenon of lucid dreaming. Again, there's a lot of information on the internet. There's a lot of books that have been written about lucid dreaming. You can maybe start with aromatherapy or herbal therapy to help you start lucid dreaming. That could be something, if it resonates with you, if you feel called to it, to do that. And again, there's a lot of similar imagery on here. She's naked, and that just means that for me, it's like to strip down to your bare essence and find your truth. Easier said than done, right? Absolutely. But I feel that the universe is on your side here and very clearly indicating to you that now is the time to start this journey. And so as we enter this season of Mabon and asking Spirit, what do I need to acknowledge? You know, this time of year, Mabon is a time of year to start to turn inward, start to balance your light and shadow self. And I feel for you, group number 2, that you aren't quite balanced, right? You have your shadow side is much larger than your light side. And Spirit is saying, we can bring you into the light. We can work together, meaning you and Spirit can work together to bring you into the light, to bring you this legacy of light that is everybody's birthright. It's everybody's birthright to access this. And some journeys are harder than others, absolutely. But strip down to your basic core self and listen for that inner truth, that inner spark. And if you don't know where to start, then start with the chakras. Start with the chakras. Go onto YouTube, see what information you can find. If you want to start listening to things while you sleep, start with the solar plexus chakra, unless you're called to access a different one, and then see what happens. You know, you don't have to have it all figured out immediately, right? Changing one thing that you do almost always has a ripple effect. And the more that you try to access those changes and go after them with honesty and integrity, the faster they will start to come. And so that's my advice for you right now for this season of Mabon is start small. Start with trying to balance the chakras and see where that takes you. So that's what I have for you right now. Good luck, group number 2, and I'm rooting for you. All right, if you chose the green calcite crystal, group number 3, this is your reading. We're going to start with pulling a dark mirror card. Dark mirror images can be intense. The messages can be triggering. But that's the point of these Mabon readings. Spirit wants to tell you what you're not acknowledging. And that can sometimes be hard to hear. Let's see what group number 3 isn't acknowledging right now. You got 2 as well, so did group number 2. Let's see what these are. The child I was meant to be. Card number 8. And card number 25, fated to suffer. I'm going to put this, normally we have, let's put it right there. Well, right off the bat, group 3, just like the other 2 groups, this is probably going to be a little bit triggering. Some heavy messages. I know that the tarot is going to clarify a bunch for you, and we have, I have a bunch of oracle decks that we can draw from to end on a note of hope. Right off the bat, I'm feeling like there's something from your childhood that you have not faced. And I feel like whatever it is that you went through, I mean, we all kind of go through stuff as children, right? It's how we end up shaping ourselves and how we grow into the adult human that we are, or that we will be. I don't know how old you are when you're watching this video. But I feel like whatever happened to you in your childhood has kind of left you with this feeling of apathy, and that's kind of been your defense mechanism. That's been your go-to defense mechanism, is to just kind of I don't know, sit back and let things happen to you, because I have a feeling that at a very young age, you learned that you had no control over the events that happened to you. And so you learned, as a way to protect yourself, to just kind of be apathetic to things that were happening around you, things that were happening to you. I'm getting a feeling that maybe you had a very controlling person in your life when you were young, and they, I mean, to put it simply, were not very nice to you, right? They took advantage of you. They took advantage of your trust and your innocence. And that was not meant to happen to you. And I feel like it squashed your inner light in a pretty profound way. And I feel that now, Spirit is saying maybe enough time has passed since those events that you can start to unpack this, and you can start to look at it, and ultimately with the goal of being to put it to rest and find that inner growth again in you, that inner spark, that inner joy, the joyfulness of life, the trusting nature of yourself that was lost somewhere along the way. So let's get into tarot and see what the tarot has to say about this. But yeah, I mean, I just get this general feeling like apathy. Spirit wants you to acknowledge that this form of apathy that you've been sitting in, it's time for it to go. I mean, there's something to be said for being easygoing, and you go with the flow, and people, maybe people say to you, wow, nothing ever really seems to bother you, and you just kind of you're easygoing, and you don't ever start a fight, or you don't ever argue. But I think that the reality is that you just learned a long time ago not to stick up for yourself, and that kind of apathy is, I mean, it's settled into this depression, and spirit is saying it's time for that it's time for you to move out of that. So let's see what the tarot say. Spirit, let's get some more insight for group 3 on what they need to acknowledge in this season of Mabon and work towards. We have the King of Cups in reverse. Was there 2 cards there? Just 1. What else, Spirit? What else for group 3? What they need to acknowledge in this season of Mabon. Can we get some more information, please, about this general sense of apathy that they need to move out of at this time? 6 of Wands in reverse, 9 of Cups, and King of Pentacles. Normally I do a 3 card. This is a 4 card, and that's okay. Yeah, I mean, I just, it's like I said, this sense of apathy, which is an emotion, is not balanced. When you all the kings in the tarot are perfectly balanced in their own respective suits. So cups are emotions. The King of Cups sits on top of the water, but his finger is in the bowl, and he has access to the creatures of the sea, which means that he is perfectly balanced in his emotions. He's in control of his emotions. He doesn't get emotional. That doesn't mean he doesn't have emotions. It just means that he knows how to control it. He won't fly off the handle. He's balanced. Kings are balanced. In the reverse, obviously, the initial meaning is that there is no balance in your emotional self. So this apathy that you are experiencing, or you have experienced in your life, is not a balanced state to be in. And the purpose of the season of Mabon is for us to start to turn inward, acknowledge things that we haven't been acknowledging, in order to achieve balance, in order to bring about balance. Mabon asks us to start to try and balance our light side and our dark side. And right off the bat, it seems to me that this is achievable for you, group number 3. We've got 2 cards in reverse, 2 cards upright. Shadow, light, they're both balanced, right? You also have bookends, a reversal of a king and an upright of a king. And so to me, this just talks about, if we look at this as a progression, you can and you are progressing from that state of imbalance towards a state of balance. And you know, all of these cards, reversal or not, are pretty positive. Kings talk about mastery. Like I said, they are balanced. They are the ultimate state of that particular suit. I just need to get a sip of my drink. Hold on. My allergies are kind of bad today. Sorry about that. King of Pentacles, so you are the master of your domain, right? You're the master of your 3D physical realm, and that's a very good thing. And you also have the wolf or the dog by your side. And so not only are you the master of you know, the physical world, but you have access to this power, to this cunning if you need it. And so this is really positive to me. So 9 of Cups is wish fulfillment, right? I feel like you are the furthest along in your journey of all the 3 groups. The other 2 groups that I did today, they were kind of starting out, but you guys, I feel, are you've been in this for a while. You've acknowledged that you have some hurt in your past. You probably have some trust issues. You have this general sense of apathy, this kind of depression, this kind of like, whatever, it doesn't matter what happens to me, it's all the same, you know, all of that kind of stuff. 6 of Wands, you know, not getting the victory that you want, not getting the attention or the attention that you want or deserve for who you are and what you've been through. I mean, all of us, it's not bad to want to be recognized for things that we've done in our life and for who we are as you know, as humans. We need to have that interaction with other humans. We need to have their feedback. We need to have their recognition. Of course, it can turn toxic, but there's nothing wrong with that in and of itself. And I feel like you've been denied that. And that's where you are with this whole apathy thing. But moving out of this and into wish fulfillment, into having your heart open again, which I don't think it has been since you were very, very young, is really going to bring about an incredible state of balance and mastery of your physical realm. So let's see if we can get some clarification. Spirit, can we clarify this spread here for group number 3, please? Talking about what they need to acknowledge for this season of Mabon. Let's see if there's anything else that can come out. Spirit, please, for group number 3. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles and Justice. Nice. That, I think, is nice for you to hear. And the Emperor. Wow. Yeah, you definitely are the furthest along in your journey of any of the groups that I've done today. And one more card just came out, the Hanged Man. So this just kind of confirms everything that we've been talking about. The Knight of Pentacles is talking about he's very deliberate in his action. He's walking barefoot through this field where he's planting the seeds of his intention. He's barefoot, meaning he's connected to the earth. He's connected to this energy. But like the king, he has access to the spirit of the horse. The horse is following him, right? Which means that he is in command of the horse. He's in command of this energy. And horses to me are immensely powerful creatures. Horses have a lot of emperor energy to me. And here is the emperor. And, you know, we finished this spread with 3 major arcanas. And the minors that you have are, you know, you have 3 court cards, so predominantly court cards. So that's another indication to me that you are further along in this journey than the other 2 groups. And there's nothing bad with the other 2 groups. Everybody starts their journey at different times. But that can be helpful to know that, you know, you have been working on it. And, you know, maybe there's just a little bit left for you to acknowledge, and maybe you have taken a break. You know, we have the Hanged Man here, so maybe you kind of took a break from this, you kind of stepped back. It's heavy work. It's really hard to face these things. And so maybe you'd been doing work and you took a little break, and Spirit is indicating that we need to kind of start again to finish and clear this up. I love also that the colors of these cards kind of are in harmony with this green calcite and this card over here, the child I was meant to be. And that just seems really profound. And, you know, so maybe what you need to acknowledge is not so much that you were wronged as a child, that you lost your innocence and sense of trust in that way. But maybe what you need to acknowledge now is who have I been hiding? Who, meaning like what part of yourself have you been hiding? And so maybe some of the advice would be to try to get in touch with what did bring you joy as a child. What kinds of things made you excited? What kinds of things made you laugh? What kinds of things made your heart feel full and made you just want to burst into the room and tell somebody about it? Maybe try to get in touch with those things again, and that can be a way for you to start in this journey to finish all of the healing that you've been doing. But you've clearly been doing the work, and you know, this part of the spread right here is very clear to me with integrity and honesty and intention. You can sow the seeds. You can walk the path that you want to walk to where you want to get to in your life, and Spirit is on your side. There's going to be a balance of the light and the dark. There's going to be a balance of your thoughts and your emotions. And, you know, the clouds are going to part and the sun is going to shine again. And I know that sounds cheesy, but that doesn't make it wrong. And, you know, you're going to step into this emperor energy, male or female, non-binary, it doesn't matter. You are going to step into this energy of just being, like I said with the King of Pentacles, just the master of your existence. And that's a really wonderful place to be. The Emperor, every card has a light and a dark side, but I think the light side of the Emperor is just like, if you look at how he's sitting here, it's not in a challenging way at all. And he's not even looking directly at us. Same as the King of Pentacles, completely relaxed, completely owns their own existence, at one with their body and their mind and their heart and their soul. Everything has come together within balance. Are they powerful? You bet you they are. If you cross them, are they going to stand up for themselves? You bet that they are. But they don't need to tell you that. They don't need to be showy with their force. They don't need to be showy with what it is that they are a master of. It's just implied. It's this implicit thing. And it's this relaxed state of strength and grace. And I feel like you are absolutely on the path towards getting this wish fulfillment here. And that's incredible. That's incredible. Let's see what spirit animals are going to be with you at this time. What spirit animals are going to walk beside group number 3? What spirit animals are going to walk beside group number 3? Group 3. What animals? The cards are like jumping out of my hands. It's crazy. Fish. Yeah, fish talks about abundance and about having everything you need to accomplish what it is that you want. And you know, this little crescent moon here also is indicative to me about, you know, trusting your intuition and finding your way back home, really, is what I want to say. And finding your way back home, I think, links back to this card. Finding your way back home, finding your way back to that child that you were meant to be before this awful thing or series of awful things happened to you. Let's see if we can get any other animals. And, you know, fish living in the ocean, in the water, linked to the King of Cups again, and balancing your emotions. Let's see if we can get one more animal card. One more animal card. Fire ant. Nice. So fire ant is talking about, so ants are incredibly hard workers, right? Fire ants are there. Where I live in the world, we have fire ants everywhere. And I don't know if you've ever stepped in a pile of fire ants. They bite or they sting, and it's really painful, and they can be painful, and you get these, you know, this rash on you where they've got you, and they just kind of swarm and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like this maybe is the energy, like you need to just swarm this last bit of stuff that you're working through, and you need to attack it and be ferocious about it and get through it. Use that fire, use that passion to finish off this cycle, group number 3. I think that the payoff is going to be really, really great for you with the Emperor card here and Justice. So let's see if we can, who else do we want to see over here? Mystic Sisters. I think I want to use Mystic Sisters. All right. Any other information for group 3? Group 3. Any other information for group 3? Spirit, anything else we need to know for group 3? Group 3. Group 3. You know, the fact that the Oracle cards, can I get one Oracle card, please? The fact that the Oracle cards have been kind of stubborn in coming out for you is another kind of indication to me that you are quite far along on this journey. Or if you feel like you're just starting out, maybe it's not going to take you as long as you think it might take you. And so the fact that the Oracle cards have been kind of sticky and not wanting to come out kind of says to me that you might already have the answers. You might already have acknowledged the answers and the advice and the action that you need to take to finish this off. But we did get mermaids and we got awakening. Nice. That's really beautiful to me. You know, mermaids are another creature that can live on land and in water. And if you look at this, this is a very balanced card to me, even though the seas are stormy. She has, there's 3 mermaids on this card, taken themselves out of this stormy sea, and they're seeking refuge, you know, on their rocks while this storm passes. And I think that that is significant because to me, it links back to the King of Cups being in reverse. So your emotions, you're feeling really emotional about something right now. There's no balance there. And so the mermaids are like, you know what? Like the Hangman, take a step out of it if you need to. Attack it in a different direction. Maybe start to use some mental focus instead of emotional focus, right? All the birds up here indicating thoughts and things like that. And then awakening is, you know, the direct result of that. So maybe Spirit is indicating to you, acknowledge that there might be a different way to think about this problem try to take the emotions out of it a little bit if you can, until they calm down, until you balance out a little bit. And that shift in perspective, which also the Hanged Man talks about having a shift in perspective in order to gain enlightenment. We see that clearly with this card. She's upside down, and it's very intentional. She put herself in this position, and she's relaxed and she's in control of it. And it's in order to gain enlightenment from source. And so, you know, I feel like that's what these cards are saying too, is that attack this problem in a different way than you were before, and that can lead to a source of inspiration, which ultimately is going to lead to a profound awakening for you, which is really quite exciting. So that's pretty cool. Let's get one other oracle card, see if this one comes out a little bit easier. I don't know. No, see, already the shuffling is getting difficult, but that's okay. it's not a bad thing. Group 3, it indicates to me that you are very powerful and that you perhaps have the answers that you're seeking. You already kind of know what you should do and where you should go. Softly, softly, the tender touch, card number 20. That's beautiful. I'm going to hold this up. These images in this deck are so, so beautiful. So what I'm seeing with this, I'm seeing a couple of things on this card. The imagery, tapping into your divine feminine energies, I think will be useful. And that's interesting to me because we have the Emperor here, which of course is divine masculine energy. But you know, the lotus on top of her head can talk about crown chakra. And actually that's really cool too, because I talked about how I'm getting the feeling that you're a lot further along in this journey and that you might have a lot of the answers that you're seeking. But, you know, the crown chakra being the final chakra in your body. And once you can't get, it's difficult to open the crown chakra fully if there's blockages anywhere else in the chakra chain. And so the fact that crown chakra has come out for you here indicates to me that you have been doing work on those other chakras that come before the crown. And when the crown chakra is open, that's when we get, you know, a download from the divine. We get that divine inspiration. And also I'm seeing a lot of, you know, sacred geometry in this as well, which means that the divine, to me, it means the divine has a plan for you and you are working through it, which is amazing and it's beautiful and it's been hard. And I feel like Spirit is acknowledging you. Spirit is like, you know what? If you have not received that acknowledgement that you've craved, that you deserve, then I'm going to be the one that gives it to you. I'm going to acknowledge what you've been doing is incredible. And, you know, the advice being, let's attack it from a new perspective to find your way back home, to find your way back to that child that you were meant to be. You were not meant to suffer. You were not meant to be used and to have your sense of trust destroyed. That was not meant to be. And so here we are acknowledging it, and here we are moving forward. And it's a really beautiful thing, group number 3. Good for you, man. It's hard working through this stuff. And Spirit is like, I see you, and you're beautiful, and you're doing what you need to do. So keep on keeping on, I guess, is what I want to say to you, group number 3. So that's what I